Well, putting this on the manual here like this maybe is not a good idea, but it's a nice introduction to today's episode. Let's just carefully get it off without spilling it. Now, I'm kind of wishing that I had have glued this little piece on here last night so it would have given the CA a lot of time to cure. Although if I use the thin, I don't think it's going to take all that long. I'm wondering if maybe what I should do here is carefully just rough the bottom edge here, maybe like with my medium sanding stick here, just a little bit, just to make the bottom there where it's going to adhere to this metal. I'm wondering why is it that they've got it so that there's a sort of a hole there? Like why didn't they have it flat all the way along? You would have thought that the larger the area, the better the glue job. It almost makes me, at first I thought that there was something that was supposed to go in there, but there isn't. The only place we put something in is these things in there. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and rough this, and one of the viewers did draw something to my attention that I think I should remember, and that is that these little tiny pegs that you see sticking out of the bottom there that have to go into those two holes, well, if I put this in, it's possible that they are going to hold this part from getting all the way down. So I might want to, pick this up just a little bit, maybe put a couple of pieces of card underneath just to hold it up. Now, I do want to keep this thing as flat as possible so that the adhesion is even. It doesn't seem to be wanting to go in there. Oh, there it goes. Okay. You know what? Why don't I turn that over and just see how much they come out, put the macro lens on here and have a look-see. Now, this hole here and this hole here is where these pegs are supposed to come up through. And I just did use the sanding stick here. I haven't brushed it off yet. It's still kind of sawdusty. I guess what would you call it if it was, would it be sawdust from plastic? Or would it be plastus? Sawdust, plastus? Anyway. So I just wanted to show that I did rough it. And now I'm going to just rearrange everything here and see if we can get these pegs to be sticking up through here. Okay, now if you remember, that thing was sort of triangular shaped, like this. And so if I press right here in the center, yeah, they do actually stick up a little bit. You can actually see it. I imagine you can see it really good. So I can do one of two things. I can either, raise this part from the bottom. Like right now, it's actually right side up. That part that we're going to be gluing on is actually the base. But I can either raise this up, or I can cut these down a little bit. That'd be the same thing. But I'd have to be careful not to cut them right off, because then I'd lose the positioning pin aspect of it. I think probably just raise this part up. Okay, if I take a piece of paper like this and double it over, I don't know if you can read that, but it says 8 thousandths of an inch. Now, if I lock this in place here and then pull this out and sort of eyeball the amount of a crack there's there, I don't know, maybe put something behind it. Probably you can't see it. Making too big a deal out of this, aren't I? Okay, I'm pretty sure that the thickness of this paper doubled over is going to be enough here. So if we tape this down so that there will be a okay, No, the idea will be if I put it so that these two holes are right in the okay, I would think that the pegs are probably not touching the plexiglass. At least that's the plan. Okay, now before that cures, get it locked in place there. I'm wondering if maybe I should just run a bead all around the outside. Or am I maybe doing something I don't need to do here? I'm not going to really... Let's just see what would happen. I'll put some right here. See, I don't want to fill in those cracks either where the photo etch pieces have to go, those angle brackets. I know that I do have a tendency to, put more on than I need. Okay, over an hour has passed now since we glued this on. I'm not going to try to do any sort of a stress test or anything like that. I don't think we need to do that. I am quite sure that we could easily break it off if we wanted to. But we are back to the same dilemma that we were at before, and that is, do we glue this part on to the other side of this right now, or do we wait? Do I leave it attached, or do I rely on the fact that because this is going to be glued onto here, it's going to do a lot less flexing when I try to put the various pieces on? But then if we take it off, the whole idea of leaving it on the fret was to give these little spider leg type things a bit of a little bit of support. It's sort of I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't sort of thing. Yeah. Now, this could be a mistake, and I guess time will tell. But I've decided that I'm going to go with the way the instructions say to remove this piece and just see if I can't just be super careful, because I want to rely on the fact that this piece here is glued down onto it to help prevent flexing, when we're trying to put these pieces on. I guess the decision is made. All right, I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to do a much better job of nipping these off if we don't have this paper underneath there. And these overhead lights are really playing havoc with this plexiglass. Well, we'll get rid of that problem. Let's just have a little look here. I don't want to flex this too much because the more, if you flex it too much, it's going to peel off of the part that we just glued on. But you can see these little things coming through here. I'm wondering if a person was to put a little bit of CA or something on those pegs, if it would also, yeah, I think I'm just going to try that. Where's my glue here? I'll just put a little on here. Can't hurt. Now, I cannot tell you how apprehensive I am about this. I think that this was maybe not a real good design on the part of Trumpeter, and yet on the other hand, I can see where somebody who is very, you might say, dexterous or careful, this would, will really give nice fine detail. But to my way of thinking, that this step is almost, it's beyond the average builder as far as I'm concerned. And I am not even yet at the point of being the average builder. I'm just bumbling through this, as those of you who have been following me for the last 778 episodes, Anyway, I'm going to put the macro lens on, and we'll just go around and try and carefully nip these off here, because this part does flex. So I'm relying on this piece right here to give it strength. But enough talking, and let's just get at it, I guess. Okay, so I've been trying to decide here which is better, to nip these more delicate ones last or first. And I'm thinking that I'm best off cutting these off first, because if after I was to cut this main body loose, if it was to move and these pieces were still fastened in place, there's a greater chance that they'll bend. Okay, now this piece right here is the same as this piece right here, so we've got to cut this right as close to the right spot as possible, which is about there. All right. Now this one here, we're going to go right up as close as we can. Okay, we got that. Now this piece here, we're going to have to get it from the other side. And the easiest way for me to do that is just swing everything around here. And we'll leave these tabs until later. And we'll get this main piece last. Okay, I've swung it 90 degrees. We had done this one and this one here. And we wanted to be able to get in and do this one right here. Okay, maybe while we're here, let's get this one here. It's not really part of the main body. Oh, I'm having a problem with this one for some reason. There we go. You didn't hear it, but I'm pretty sure we got it. Just pretty sure it's loose there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's loose. Okay. Now, obviously we don't cut here or here. This all stays attached. That's why this is so incredibly delicate, because it's got this little tiny arm here. This, in my opinion, should have been a little bit heavier. Now, that's just my opinion. Other people might think, hey, this is great. It's nice and delicate and so on. Okay, let's move around here. I'll just reposition. Okay. Now, as long as I'm coming in from this side here, let's see if I can catch this one up here. And I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to get this one up here too. Now, I got to get this one here, but the angle is wrong for me, so I'm going to have to swing it around. I think that what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to just go ahead and get all of these, and when we go to get the very last one on the main body here, then, yeah, I'll show you that one. But I think you've probably seen all you can handle, right? All right, as near as I can tell, we have everything loose here. Oh, this is going to be so hard not to bend. Okay, and it's this one right here. I do believe when we cut this one, okay, this part should be loose. Yep. Well, here's hoping, folks. So a moment ago, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think of how can I handle this little part here after we get it fastened onto this. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I could put a little piece of, blue tack on the bottom of this thing and stick it on a paint jar. And, I thought that might work. And then I'd be able to handle it and stuff like that. But then I'm thinking, it's going to have all these little tiny spiny things sticking out of it that are so easily bent. And I was thinking, I wonder if it would maybe fit in something that I could handle. And then I remembered, oh, it must have been maybe it was over a year ago. Remember we made this? So I went and I looked, it was over on the other side of the model table in a box. Now, this will fit. Lots of room. And then I was thinking, well, I wonder, and I haven't tried it yet, would it fit in a tuna fish tin? Because that would even be better. I got a bag of tuna fish tins here. I'd show it to you, but it's too hard to get it out. Okay, now, will it fit in a tuna fish tin? I almost think it will, and yeah, with about 1/4 of an inch to spare all the way around. Every once in a while, I amaze myself with my brilliance. Well, me and my brilliance has let the time get away on me here. I don't know if you can see my watch, but it says something like 2:54. So I've got to call it quits, and I've got a lot of editing to do. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.